guys get settled, I'll let you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves. We'll start with Trena, and we've had kind of issues. You have to hold the mics a little close.
Hi, everybody. I want to thank everyone for coming out. This is nerve-wracking, I'm going to let you know. And I want to thank Echo and Robert for giving me the opportunity to be up here and to give you a little bit about me and my family. My name is Trena Jones, and I'm better known as Johnny Jones's wife. And we have two beautiful daughters. They both went through Montford High School, and one's a banker and one's a teacher right here at Covington Middle School. And we have two beautiful granddaughters. And I just want to say this, I have the best in-laws in the world. And I don't take that for granted because I didn't have a father. But I am running for the Tipton County Register of Deeds, and I have proudly served Tipton County for 32 years. I've served 20 years in the Register of Deeds office where I am present, and I served 12 years as deputy assessor under Mr. Bill Stimpson. And with my experience, I'm ready to continue serving Tipton County with that same dedication and that integrity, because coming behind Miss Peggy and Claudia, it says a lot. The Register, give you a little bit about what the Register of Deeds do. The Register of Deeds office is responsible for recording and protecting the important documents like property deeds, mortgage, land records, and ensuring that they remain accurate and accessible to the citizens of Tipton County. And I respectfully respect that because those documents mean a lot to a lot of people. With that being said, I respectfully ask for your support and vote on August the 6th.
My name is Stephanie Presley. I am a lifelong resident of Covington. My parents actually moved here from Brownsville, or if you are from Brownsville, they call it Brownville in Brownsville. Before I was ever a year old, I lived here in Covington, in the city of Covington, for, 26, 27 years before I moved out to the county. I now live in Burleson. My parents were Barbara and Charles Presley. Some of you may know my mother from Dr. Hyatt's office. She's probably giving you an allergy shot. And I think everybody in Tipton County has had an allergy shot by my mother. I work for David Owen, now Owen and Witherington, as a real estate closing agent, where I handle closings before homes. I research title, I close loans, I handle the closings from real estate from the time it starts with that contract until the time it gets to the registrar's office. So I understand the importance of the registrar's office because my office is the one who researches those records, so it is important that they are indexed and recorded correctly.
Thank you so much. So our first question is, one of you has spent a couple of decades inside the office. The other has spent a couple of decades working alongside it as a closing agent. Whose vantage point better serves the public and why? And we'll start with Ms. Trena.
I am the candidate who has worked in the office for 20 years. And that gives me the greater vantage point. And I feel like because I have no curve. And I've been doing this job for 20 years. And I help in every aspect of the office and trying to maintain good records so that people can come in and search property and get any information, get a copy of the deeds, And I think that gives me history here in Tipton County. And you know, when you knowing history, especially here in Tipton County, it means a lot. And it's good to see how the property changes from generation to generation, and that is important because that younger generation will have something to fall back on and look to say, oh, this was my granddaddy's property, or this was my great-granddaddy's property. So most importantly, I'm already doing the job, and that makes me more qualified. That makes me the more qualified candidate, and it gives me the best vantage point for serving and continuing to serve Tipton County residents, and I will do that.
Thank you so much. We'll give you about 5 extra seconds.
I respect Trena's work in the registrar's office. My experience gives me a little different and practical vantage point. As a real estate closing agent, I know the difference between a quitclaim deed, a special warranty deed, a regular warranty deed, and how these deeds convey the interest from one owner to the next. I understand, you know, the deed of trust, how it secures the lien for the lien holder. The affidavit of heirship does not transfer ownership to the property. They use this to complete the chain of title. If somebody dies without a will, nobody knows who the heirs are unless those affidavits of heirship are recorded, because they have died what they call intestate. So if Aunt Bessie promised you that she would give you her property and she didn't have a will, well, guess what? The next heir is going to get your property. I understand these records. I know what's in them. I know the importance of them, and I know if they are not recorded and logged correctly, that it makes it hard for the people who work in my industry to find those records, because if they're not indexed and recorded correctly, then we have a loss in the chain of title.
Thank you so much. So our next question is, errors in property records can have serious consequences for homeowners and title companies. What specifically in your background needs you catch problems or prevent them from happening in the first place? We'll start with Stephanie on this one.
Okay, my background has trained me to look at documents carefully. The people who work in my office will tell you my big thing is read. Read, 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 because I know what can happen when something goes wrong. As a closing agent for more than 25 years, I have dealt with names, legal descriptions, signatures, acknowledgments, title work, lender's requirements, recording details. I understand the preparation, that incorrect indexing and recording, it can make it hard to find those records in the future, which creates a ripple effect that causes homeowners, buyers, sellers, lenders, attorneys, all kinds of problems in the real estate world. That is why I'll bring careful attention to detail in this office.
Again, I'm going to say this over and over. I'm already doing the job. So if an error is made, you know, we're all going to make a mistake. And mistakes, they're fixable. And if I do know we already have in place internal checkpoints. We do checkpoints, and we do more than one checkpoint when a document is recorded, because we're typing on a computer all day, and sometimes you get tired, sometimes you hit the wrong button, you didn't dot that I, you didn't cross that T. So those checkpoints helps us to make sure that the errors are corrected in a timely manner. And we try to do that before the next day. And then we have a printout of everything that we did the day before, and we read that. We read word for word. And that's how we check our errors, and we try to get them corrected in a timely manner. And we do a great job with that. I know a lot of people would, if the chain of title somehow get through, we do have some attorneys that will call and say, hey, that's misspelled, or that name is misspelled. So we can unlock the document by the law, by the state law, and we can address the date, the time, and the day that we made those corrections. But not very many, because Claudia is very tight on that. But I will be the
That's
secretary.
fine. Sorry. I wanted to give you about 10 extra seconds to add anything, if you wanted to add anything, Stephanie. Or have you already answered the question, or?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
already
you did,
answered
okay.
it.
I don't know if you had,
I'm good.
because okay. All right, and so our last question is, the current and previous registers of deeds have both been spoken of very highly, and this office has had continuity for decades. What specifically do you preserve from how it's been run, and what do you change?
Well, me?
Yes.
Okay. Having been under Claudia for 20 plus years, she's kept great records. And we've all take the right steps according to the law. And from her, the way she keeps records, and the way Miss Peggy Spain, the previous register, kept records, just keeping the records, it leaves there's not much you have to change, because they set the standard and they put in place, they did put in place, let me get it right, a little nervous, but they put in place the standard, and that standard is there, and I plan to follow that standard. And they both were thorough and passionate about what they did, and they kept great records. And I can say it like this: Miss Peggy taught Claudia, and Claudia has taught me, and she's groomed me whether she knows it or not. I appreciate everything that she have taught me, and I feel like I'm ready to do the job and continue serving the Tipton County resident. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. And I'm ready to do the job and continue serving the residents of Tipton County.
Thank you so much, and we'll give Stephanie the same amount of time to respond.
I believe you gotta give credit where credit is due. Miss Peggy Spain and Claudia have served the citizens of this county extremely well. I can't even begin to give them enough praise that they deserve. I'm gonna preserve the commitment to accuracy, the courteous service they've always given, the respect to the records that they've always given. Property records are too important for unnecessary disruptions. Preserving what works doesn't mean just standing still. I would look for practical ways to improve efficiency, communication, accessibility, and organization of the office. My goal would be to respect the foundation and to protect the records and serve the people well and move the office forward for any improvement it needs.
Fantastic, thank you so much, and that wraps up your segment for the evening. Thank you.